Doubtful Sounds, that we jump on the ferry, and then apparently we're going on a with all the seagulls. Shitloads of them. And then we're going on a bus tour through the mountains into Fjordland, and that's where we'll take a 3-hour ferry. So see how it goes.
On the boat for safety reasons. There's an area you can do that at West Arm. That's our next stop, and just under an hour's time. Once we get out in the lake, we'll go up to a cruising speed of about 22-23 knots. That's about just under 45 kilometres per hour. The only reason we go back for hats is if you're still attached to them. The water's not that warm down here. It's pretty deep, probably 11-12 degrees. Now there's tea and coffee that's to the left of the bar. Probably not a good idea to take that up on the top deck either. You might be more likely to wear it than get to drink it. My name's Andrew, I'm your skipper. I'll be giving you a bit of information as we go. So just sit back and relax. I'm not knowing if it's going to rain or not. I don't think it will. You are in a rainforest we're going into, so you never know.
Landslide.
Do that, and it is full. They have a waiting list, and if somebody drops out, other people are willing to get on there, so it's always a full race. That's why underneath it there's no plants. It's far too straight up down or back inwards. So the black is where the water runs down all the time. The tannish is where it runs down sometimes, and off-white is the actual colour of the granite around here. So that's why these lakes are quite a dark colour, green, because of the amount of tannin going into them. Perfectly safe to drink because you drink it every day of the week. If you drink tea or coffee, same go. Plant life, what colours teas and coffee, so no problem. And because most of the water runs through the moss and lichen, it's actually very filtered. Some of the best water you can drink actually around. Whereas you go up to Canterbury, even a bit South Canterbury, you find the lakes a lot more bluer than green because it's all snowmelt or just rain, not really going.
There is a pipe that goes from this lake right through into the other Fjordland, and it drives a big turbine, so we get electricity.
Through a lot of plant life like here. And near that substation, and that brings, it's got the power coming up from 180 metres down in the mountainside on the machine hall. So most of it's down 180 metres inside the mountain. You'll see the intakes, heap of concrete around the intakes to our right very soon as we go into the harbour. But basically, apart from that, an old patrol block and the switch station up there, the rest of it's, as I said, 180 metres down. And quite an amazing feat. There's a road going down 2 k's, or 180 metres down, but its length is 2 k's, a big arc, 1.5 turns to get down to where the machine hall is, because that's how they got all the big stuff down on the trucks. Had to be a big curving road. What an amazing feat that met where the tunnel went down, first time it went down. But there's a bit in the building up here now, right in the building you can have a look at. It shows, if you can see in the mountain, shows you exactly what feet it was actually, get it all right, everything joining up. Have a look at it if you want. Other stuff about the lake and power station also in that bit of building to the right. And the building to the left is toilets if you need them. And once we're tied up and offloading, if you do need toilets, it's a good idea to use the ones up there. That way when the bus drivers do the call for you to go on the buses, they won't leave you behind.
Well, that was interesting. We're going from where to where?
Going from here to here on a bus.
On the bus.
Meters straight down through those 7 large turbines, producing anywhere up to 850 megawatts electricity that will be racing along those power lines all the way to TY aluminium smelts near Bluff. So if you've driven up from Invercargill way, you would have crisscrossed under these power lines on your journey up here. The water then travels through the 2 tunnel races at sea level, basically comes out at Deep Cove where we headed. It travels a distance of around 10 odd kilometers through the mountain on our right. We're going to drive over the mountain, Wilmot Pass, about 21 odd kilometers. So it's more about this one and only road. It was built in early 1960s, and originally they thought it would only take 1 year to build. It actually took 2 years. It was that difficult, and primarily built to bring in the big turbines, the heavy machinery. So it came in by ship into Deep Cove, and then they trucked it over to the hydro station here. Once a week we get a barge, comes across Lake Manapōuri where you just come from. That's how these buses get here, all the smaller freight, the diesel. And anyone else that wants to come and use this one and only road, you can. It's run by Department of Conservation. It's maintained by Downer. It's in very good condition at the moment. You just pay them the fee, and you can bring your own boat and vehicle if you want. Our one and only road even has a stop sign. This little one on my left here runs to a dock hut just around the corner there, full of sandflies. You don't really want to stay there. Sometimes we have people coming off the Dusky track, so you can walk to Dusky Sound from here. Most people start at Dusky Sound and walk back here. When they come off the track, we'll see where the track is just a bit further down the road. Mountain beech trees growing all around here. On the other side of Walmer Pass, on the western side of the Alps, more of the broadleaf conifer species of plants growing. A bit more plant life, and it's a bit more denser on the western side of the Alps. It's a bit more humid, and they do receive a bit more rain. So we get anywhere between 5 to 9 meters of annual rainfall every year. So we don't measure it in millimeters here, we measure it in meters. We call this Manapōuri. Real rainy days, the water can easily flow over the road here. We won't dare cross it, then it becomes a bit too dangerous to grow. Ah, here's the Dusky track. So on my left there's a little green sign. It just drops down there into the Spey Valley. Dropped somebody there this morning. It can take you anywhere between 3 to 8 plus days to walk to Dusky Sound. It's very weather related. It's not for the faint hearted. You've got to know what you're doing on this one. 2 alpine crossings. That's just a trickle today. Yesterday and the day before, there was a lot of water coming down there. Weather that causes these slips, avalanches, earthquakes. Fiordland gets at least one a day. They're normally quite deep, so we don't really get to feel them. You've got to remember we've got the 2 plates colliding below us, pushing these mountains up, and about the rate that your fingernails are growing. Nearly touching the bridge. Looking out to the right, you'll notice the top part of the mountain is missing. Big avalanche come down in 2016.
On board. So we started here, and we're now here, and I don't know where we're going. I think we're going here somewhere. We're going out?
Maybe we just passed here.
Yeah, we're going out there to the ocean.
industry, the company left, it was starting to run down, so fishermen took it over and rebuilt it. In fact, at the moment, they're actually lifting it up another 6 or 8 inches higher than it was to stop the tide going through it. It's got a helicopter pad on the far end, so come in here at daylight, pick up the live fish, trade fish from the fishermen, and fly it back out to town. Big satellite dish there used by the Department of Conservation for all their tracking and monitoring up on the island. Yeah. Another small one just above the door though. Back in the day, fishermen would come in here, anchor their boats up, get float planes or helicopters and fly them out to town to watch the rugby, come back the next day. Very expensive exercise, as you can well imagine. The long caveat being to satellite TV, Sky TV, dish on the building, television and decoder in the boat, sit on top of the fishing boats and go out there fishing and watching go to the restaurant. Of course, all the large ships carrying the heavy equipment during the construction phase of the West Arm Power Station. As we just open up that waterway in front of us, way up in the far distance, a peaked mountain disappearing up into the cloud there. That solitary cone. If you clamber up to the top of that into the cloud there, if you manage to look down the other side, you look down into Deep Cove where we started our journey from. The other fur seal is actually a breeding colony of them out at the end, a bit further out than we went today. Very agile in the water, but they do look quite cumbersome when they're on land, but they are actually quite agile there as well. There you go, waving his flippin' message. The secret is the amount of rain that falls here in Fiordland. So that rain falls through that forest floor, picking up those leaves, twigs, fall. And that those leaves obviously get stuck in some of the rock faces there. And then the mosses start growing, and you get the lichens, and you get a large wall of vegetation. So
oh shit. What close it is. Oh, that.
Look up now, you can see that piece of rock's obviously fallen down many years ago, and then probably got the driest part of the field and above the heads here.
Wow.
Want you to be able to all the engines for 4 or 5 minutes, just so that you can get this experience, what we call the sound of silence. So please, it's just going to take us a few moments to cool the engines down.